What's happening, party people? Welcome to Punchboard Party. My name is Daniel and this is Hot Take, where I talk about a handful of trending games on BoardGameGeek. Today, previous videos I've been doing 10 games, but today I'm just going to do 5. It turns out that it's a lot of work to make these videos, and it's gonna work better for Sarah and I's schedule if I just trim things down a little bit to 5 games. But I got 5 great games for us to talk about today. So I hope you enjoyed the video today. Let's get going. First game I want to talk about today, and coming in at number 3 on the hotness, is Catan 3D Edition. So this is pretty cool. In 2005, Catan came out with a 3D Deluxe Edition, and it included the expansion Cities and Nights, and the big draw to this game was that the tiles were not flat. You had a game that really popped up off the table, and so now they're coming out with a new Deluxe Edition. So here's the downside. This game is only coming with base Catan. It's not included Cities and Nights, and the roads and the cities that you're going to be putting out on the board as you play are all one color, based on player color, whereas in the previous Deluxe Edition, the roads and the cities, they were different colors as well and kind of gave it more of a real-life city vibe. So there's a few downgrades to this edition that people who own the previous edition will notice, and the price point is still the same. So the price point is $300 US to buy this game. And this is where I pause. I'm all about having Catan in your collection, and I'm all about Catan being your family's #1 played game and the game that just brings joy around the table. But what I'm wondering is, who is this game made for that you're going to drop $300 for a game that you most likely already have? And even if you don't have it, why would you buy this edition over the base set edition when you're talking about a $250 price difference? Let me know in the comments down below what your thoughts on this is. What does a collector's edition need to bring to the table for you to want to purchase it, especially if you already own the game? Let me know what your thoughts are on collector's editions, and especially on this 3D collector's edition of Catan. Next is a game that I'm really excited about. This is The Loop. It's coming in at number 5 on the hotness today, and this game just looks super cool. I love time travel movies, I love time travel books, and of course I would love time travel board games. Unfortunately, there's not too many, so I'm really excited that The Loop is coming on the horizon. So this game was previously released in Europe in 2020 and got a lot of play there, and then it had a very short print run in North America from Catch-Up Games, and it was very limited, so not a lot of people got their hands on it. And now Pandasaurus is going to be releasing The Loop in August sometime. It's on the hotness today because BoardGameGeek's Game Night just did an episode where they played through this game, and Rado just put out his run-through and final thoughts on The Loop as well. And so now there's just industry folks getting their hands on this game now and letting us know about all of the goodness. So why am I excited about this game? Because as you might know, I am not a co-op game fan, and this is a co-op game, but I really see that they're bringing something interesting and new to the table that I really want to sink my teeth into. So there's 2 things that are really drawing me to this game, and they both have to do with the card play in the game. So there's different modules on this board, and each module represents a time frame, and there's cards that are going to be put out around the board, and they're going to be put next to the time frame that that card represents. And in order to draw that card into your hand, there's this deck building mechanic in this game as well. You have to be in that time in order to get a card from that time. And so I think it's really neat that it's not just simply there's a phase in the game where you buy cards to put in your deck, but you actually have to adventure around and go to different locations in order to get certain types of cards into your deck. Another thing is the way that you can play your cards. So you're going to play your cards out in front of you, and then when you use them, you're going to tap them. But then you can spend a cube and reactivate cards that you have already played. And the cards have a little symbol in the top left corner, And so you just pick which symbol you're going to activate, and you can activate all cards with that symbol on it and then play them again. So I really love the idea of being able to reactivate cards, but only of one type. So there's still a tight decision space there. Let me know down in the comments below what your favorite time travel board games are. Are there some time travel board games that I haven't run across that you think that I would really enjoy if I like time travel? Let me know, because I'm not aware of very many. Down in the comments. Coming in at number 7 on the hotness today is Summoner Wars. This is a second edition to a game that a lot of people really like from Plat Hack Games. This is a 2-player tactical combat skirmish game without miniatures. But this is all card play and dice, but it looks like you get the same experience that you get from a miniature combat style game. So the basic mechanisms in this game is that you put out your troops and armies that are cards that you put out on kind of a grid board, and there's restrictions where you can place new armies, and then you can move your troops or your characters around the board based on movement restrictions. And you can attack your opponent's troops on the board by using melee attacks or long range attacks, and you do this by rolling dice, and the dice faces are swords or bows, and they correspond to the kind of attack that you're doing, and however many faces of that type of attack you get, that's how much damage you do. If the damage that you do exceeds the health of that card is discarded. The game goes until one person's summoner is left standing, and that person is the winner of the game. So Summoner Wars 2nd Edition looks like a really fun, simple, stripped down skirmish game that'll be really great to get to the table and have that head-on-head experience. So here's what I noticed about Summoner Wars 2nd Edition. It is on the hotness today because Shut Up and Sit Down recently did a review of it and gave it their seal of recommendation. They are recommending this game, they love this game. And when Shut Up and Sit Down does this, it straps a rocket to the game and shoots it to the moon. The whole idea is that when Shut Up and Sit Down does a review of the game, and it's very positive, you better get out and get a copy of that game now, because it is going to be sold out in minutes. Again, this is a game that people have already had their hands on, and this new edition is just blowing this game up once again. And so that's Summoner Wars 2nd Edition. I want to know what you think about board game YouTube channels like Shut Up and Sit Down and their influence on what games you purchase. So let me know in the comments down below, have you been influenced to buy a game based on a video that Shut Up and Sit Down specifically has done? And what was that game or games that you've purchased because of Shut Up and Sit Down's influence? Let me know down below. So this next game is a Kickstarter that is now being fulfilled and getting into people's hands. This is Ankh from Catan Games, Simon Games, designed by Eric Lang. This is the third in the mythic trilogy, so Blood Rage, Rising Sun, and now Ankh. I can't foresee this getting bad reviews, but again, it might, who knows? So again, this is a battle, area control, dudes on a map style game, but what this game is boasting, unlike the others, is huger than huge miniatures to represent the gods that you are being in this game, as well as a strange endgame mechanic where the 2 players in last place at the point of a certain endgame trigger use their gods together and play as one player, and now they are united and have to either win or lose the game together. I think this is incredibly unique for the game, and I'm not sure how it's going to play out on the table. Imagine playing a game and you want to be on the winning end of things for the whole game, for fear that you are going to have to be forced into cooperation with somebody else at the end. Or you notice that the game is turning in a certain direction towards one player, and you think that you could win the game if you were on a team with somebody else, and so you intentionally get yourself down the score track so that you amalgamate with another player, and then together you win the game. I don't know, there's lots of potential there. So that mechanism I wanted to highlight because I think it is unique and cool. Apart from that, the pedigree of this game speaks for itself with Eric Lang and Catan and previous games in this lineage we know that we're getting a quality game with quality miniatures. So Ankh, I think it's just a waiting game now to get it to the table and have a lot of fun with the newest in this mythic trilogy. Last game I want to talk about today is another third installment in a trilogy of games, and this is Now or Never from Red Raven Games, Ryan Lockett. So this is Above and Below, Near and Far, and Now or Never. So this game is a competitive game where you're kind of in a post-apocalyptic dystopian world. There were these shards of crystals that landed from the heavens, from the sky, and they crash landed onto your world, and they have contaminated and infected people, and there's these monsters that are roaming the landscape, and now things are kind of chilling out and dying down, and it's time to rebuild civilization. So your quest in this game is to rebuild a village and inhabit it with villagers and kind of work out an economic system and produce things that people can purchase. And you're really going to want to make sure that you're producing what people are going to need. So I heard a review already that the game doesn't hold your hand with this. And so you really need to be savvy and you really need to have a sound strategy right from the get-go in order to do well in this game. And just like Above and Below and Near and Far, there's going to be a storybook and campaign that you are going to be able to work through. And some of the campaigns even have underground cave elements where you can build underground cave features to your village. So there's going to be all of that good stuff that comes from Near and Far. But I think this is going to bring something fresh and lovely to the table. Ryan Lockett gets a lot of praise for his design, so again, I'm not worried about this game doing well or not. So this game is on the hotness again because there was a thread saying, hey, I've played this game, do you have any questions about it? And so there was just lots of conversation about the game, people that are curious, because there hasn't been an update recently about the game, but we're looking at probably August or September when we'll start seeing this game on retail store shelves and online. And so look for that. So there we have it, party people. Those are 5 hot games that are trending on BoardGameGeek today. I hope you heard about a game that gets you excited, and I hope that we can get these games into our hands sooner than later. I recognize that doing this hotness style video means that I'm talking about games that you can't immediately go out and buy right away, and I want to remedy that on the channel and have another style of video that talks about games that you can just pick up right away when you see the video if you get excited about a game. But I still hope that you enjoy the hotness video. I get excited about these games, these are things that I really like to talk about. So if you like this content, if you like what I'm doing on the channel, if you've been watching me for a while and are not subscribed, please consider subscribing wherever you're at. I would really appreciate it. And until next time, party people, have the best day.